Coming up, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers 10 to 16 families made homeless by a fire in Bayan Lepas, Penang. We look back into the history of Malaysia's Tzu Chi Dialysis Centers and how it has changed the lives of many. Welcome to Dia Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. We kick off today's program in Malaysia, where the Muslim religious holiday Eid al-Fitr is a time when residents return home to celebrate the occasion with their family. However, in Penang, a fire broke out on August 11th in a village in Bayan Lepas, which left 16 families homeless. Tzu Chi volunteers immediately arrived at the disaster site to distribute daily necessities and comfort the survivors.
The Eid al-Fitr is supposed to be a joyous occasion, but an unfortunate fire destroyed homes and the festive mood. Without a home to return to, fire survivors sought temporary shelter inside this hall. Kids rummaged through a pile of clothing, hoping to find a fresh change of clothes. Not long after the fire, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived on the scene, distributing emergency cash and supply packs to the fire survivors.
Terima kasih kepada tuan-tuan semua.
I would like to express my thanks to the Tzu Chi volunteers for coming here and bringing aid. Next, based on the list we received, we will be helping single mothers, impoverished students, and those with financial difficulties.
Saya mengucapkan terima kasihlah kepada
I want to thank Tzu Chi. We are very grateful for your assistance, which will help improve our situation.
As Tzu Chi volunteers share the story of the bamboo coin bank, it is hoped that one day these survivors can too extend the love they've received to others.
Moving to Taiwan, Tzu Chi's second largest environmental education center opened at the Kaohsiung Jingsi Hall. On the day of the opening ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers, recycling volunteers, the foundation staff and local residents all gathered at the environmental education center to celebrate the occasion.
Tzu Chi volunteers, recycling volunteers, members of the public and foundation staff joined in sincere prayer at the inauguration of the Environmental Education Center at the Kaohsiung Jingsi Hall. Volunteers also prepared fruits, each of which had a symbolic meaning attached.
Apples symbolize peace, pears symbolize harmony, and the banana symbolize the people who will join us in practicing recycling.
Hoping to invite more people to take the Tzu Chi path, on the day of the opening, volunteers made glutinous rice balls for nearby residents. Some local residents have already begun to practice recycling at the new premises.
I don't come to Kaohsiung often. I'm here with my mom visiting my grandma, and I'm very happy to be here.
Through practicing recycling, youngsters are making sure that their summer vacation is spent in a meaningful way. Although it's drizzling outside, Tzu Chi volunteers still pay a friendly visit to nearby factories and encourage staff there to join hands and safeguard our planet together.
We have many recyclable items here, but because we don't sort them, they just go to waste. I often ask my staff to see if those unwanted items can still be reused. If we can extend their lifespan, then we have turned them into gold.
Careful planning went into the structural design of the Environmental Education Center. The roof is designed in such a way so to collect rainwater, and each washroom is equipped with a sensory tap system.
Our master says since it's so beautifully built, it should serve its purpose as an environmental education center to show the younger generation how to practice recycling.
Apart from being a green and eco-friendly structure, the center is also wheelchair accessible so that the young and old alike may all play their part in protecting our planet.
Trees are living things with their own ways of sustaining life. However, humans not only like to transplant trees at will, but will also often use the wrong methods to do so, thus causing harm to the sustainability of the trees. This is especially true for non-native plants, as they often have a hard time adapting to an environment not suitable to their own growth. Let's take a look.
Trees help to decrease the overall temperatures of the environment. If these green citizens disappeared, then the summers in Taiwan would be unbearable.
Come over here and document this. This is the stump of a tree that died. They cut it down after it died. Taichung's Transportation Bureau replanted these trees here on April 24th.
These are the remains of the 400 camphor trees that line a major road in Taichung City. They have been here for no longer than 4 months.
When they replanted the trees, they didn't remove the plastic bag holding the roots together. This has been the practice for contract jobs for the past 20 to 30 years. How do you expect plant life to survive this way?
The quick and dirty way the trees have been replanted have affected the tree's growth as compared to the bushes surrounding it. The trees have lost their vigor.
When they move trees, they are only concerned about their work progress, not about the trees themselves, or if they will live after planting them.
In order to save on construction costs, these transplanted trees seem doomed from the start.
As humans, we need the environment to survive. We take from nature in order to survive. Thus, in our subconscious, they become an inferior thing.
Living as servants, trees cater to every human's need.
When a breeze blows, it's very nice here. These are our kawazu cherry blossom trees. They are the ones with supporting structures. They aren't surviving very well as our environment is not suitable for this type of tree. The government has also sealed them off and little wind gets through.
Inside this confined area here at Tainan's Barclay Memorial Park is where the cherry blossom trees from Japan's kawazu are placed.
With so many of them dying, it's really not something the government can smooth over. There are definitely issues in maintenance and replanting.
This is the 4th round of cherry blossom tree planting, and thus far, it's looking like the previous failed attempts. What was once the local government's ideal to create an area like the famed Japanese Cherry Blossom Festival has turned into a disaster.
A plant's survivability is strong, but it's still limited in certain ways, as temperatures here aren't suitable for this type of a tree.
Overlooking the tree's adaptability and only thinking about profits has turned this field into a tree cemetery.
In trying to keep up with the times, people constantly look to plant new trees. However, I feel we should stop and admire those old trees that are already planted. There are water springs here, and on the side are trees native to Taiwan. Once it's fixed up a bit, this area will be such a beautiful environment.
As a previous recipient of the International Architecture Award, the Barclay Memorial Park already has many enjoyable native ecosystems. Instead of spending more money to plant non-native trees, why not use it to beautify what is already there?
In 1997, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers established the first overseas Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang to give poor dialysis patients an opportunity to receive free treatments. Today, the 3 Tzu Chi Dialysis Centers in the nation can be found in Penang, Kedah and Butterworth. Let's take a look.
Piecing Jingsi aphorisms together, patients waiting for their turn to receive treatment have a place to relax and someone to talk to. In the 1990s, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers discovered that many care recipients suffer from renal failure. Unfortunately, as a result of the high cost and limited number of dialysis centers in Malaysia, many patients were unable to receive the treatment they needed. Thankfully, starting from September of 1996, Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter launched a program to raise funds for a Tzu Chi Dialysis Center.
All of us were unfamiliar with building a dialysis center, so we decided to conduct everything with Tzu Chi's humanistic values in mind. We wanted to help poor dialysis patients.
Back then, the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang did not have enough medical staff. Thankfully, a doctor decided to take an early retirement to volunteer at the center. In August 3, 1997, the first Tzu Chi Dialysis Center overseas was established in Malaysia's Penang, providing needy patients with free dialysis treatments. It was also the first free dialysis centers in the country. At first, the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center only had 5 dialysis machines. In March of 2002, a second Tzu Chi Dialysis Center was established in Jatra, Kedah, and on November of the same year, a third center was launched in Bagan Ajam, Butterworth. In September of 2010, the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Kedah was moved to Alor Setar. Currently, Tzu Chi Dialysis Centers have a total of 41 dialysis machines with 44 medical staff on hand to help 188 dialysis patients.
还有呢，让他们知道呢，现在有这样的一个机构来帮助他，他也有能力呢，捐出一滴。 能帮助很多人，所以那种的济贫教富我也是非常的感动这就是在医病医心救贫但是呢，也提升了他的富有的爱心，这是。 智慧型的教育，智慧型的救济那这一群的圣友也打开了那一份的爱心也都会呢自愿的投入，成为志工。
Although these dialysis patients suffer from physical pain, they insist on joining the volunteers' ranks to help the less fortunate by practicing recycling. This 3D drawing shows the finished look of the new Tzu Chi Dialysis Center. In the future, the center will be equipped with 108 dialysis machines, a kidney health center, and Heart Lotus palliative wards.
我们期许这栋新的慈济洗肾中心。
With the love from members of the public and Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia, we hope the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center can safeguard the health of underprivileged dialysis patients, especially as we have seen a growing number of dialysis patients in the country.
Thanks to Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers' unconditional love, dialysis patients across the country not only had the opportunity to receive treatments, but also a chance to cleanse in their hearts.
As we celebrate the auspicious 7th lunar month here in Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers in both Taoyuan and New Taipei City held blessing ceremonies in their local communities, while in Wenshan and Da'an, Taipei, Tzu Chi volunteers took to the street to promote the ideals behind the occasion, as well as to invite members of the public to adopt a vegetarian diet.
As soon as this traditional market in Wenshan District, Taipei opens, Tzu Chi volunteers arrive, some with promotion boards in hand, while others invite members of the public to join their blessing ceremony. Besides taking to the streets to promote the auspicious 7th lunar month, a borough head also helps by making an announcement to his community.
7月吉祥祈福会，请你们踊跃参加。
More than 200 residents took part in the blessing ceremony, and volunteers put on short skits to promote vegetarianism and the concept of not burning just paper.
If we can in fact donate the money used to buy just paper to various charity organizations, it will be great. I think we should just pray sincerely and reduce carbon emissions by not burning just paper.
I think it is more about having faith. If just one person makes a little change, it will count towards something. We can even reduce the greenhouse effect a little.
Knowing that many a little makes a mickle, Tzu Chi volunteers in Da'an District are also advocating the right way to mark the 7th lunar month.
The weather is really hot nowadays, so I think we all recognize that we need to safeguard our planet. We can refrain from burning joss paper and make only vegetarian offerings, such as fruits and flowers.
While commemorating our ancestors, one should also think about the future generations and know that it is more about sincerity than the amount of offerings used. Moving to New Taipei City, Tzu Chi volunteers in Yonghe District invited members of the public to attend their blessing ceremony.
I will begin learning how to cook healthy vegetarian dishes so my children can try it.
Vegetarianism helps safeguard our planet and also our health, and gives us more opportunities to do good deeds.
Apart from sharing the benefits of vegetarianism, Tzu Chi volunteers also prepare meatless lunch boxes to share with members of the public and corporation staff.
We hope to share the right concepts with our employees during lunch breaks.
Volunteers hope, through sharing these ideals, to inspire others to make a difference. Here at the blessing ceremony in Taoyuan, students find that the role they are playing as rebellious teenagers in the musical reflects what they used to be like.
I used to be a rebellious child and was mean towards my parents. I talked back and was even violent. But now that I have grown up, I feel that what I did was quite immature and I shouldn't have treated them that way.
Through performing a section of the musical rendition of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents, these Malaysia students studying in Taiwan are inspired to repent for their past behaviors.
It makes me very nostalgic, and I miss my parents a lot. I was such a rebel back then, and now I feel the hardship that my parents went through.
I was really moved and wanted to cry. I miss my mom a lot. I never used to listen to my mom, and thinking about that makes me teary.
Under the guidance of Tzu Chi volunteers, these students from abroad have found a new meaning to life and all want to show their gratitude.
We have learned so much through this performance and gained a lot. Thank you, Tzu Chi uncles and aunties.
During the 7th lunar month, many corporations will put on big celebrations to mark the Pudu festival in hopes of seeing a prosperous year ahead. However, in recent years, traditions have slowly changed. In New Taipei City, 3 corporations teamed up to hold a blessing ceremony, and some 100 employees came together to perform the sign language musical of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents. The musical rendition of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents marks the opening of this blessing ceremony held in Linkou, New Taipei City. Some 107 staff members of the New Taipei Industrial Park took part in the performance this year.
After taking part in the performance, I have become more soft-spoken. If my parents say things I don't like to hear, I will think about it and reflect on my behavior. If I was a father myself, I would be upset if my son talked back to me.
Employees from 3 companies began their rehearsals more than 2 months ago. Though having to give up their lunch break to practice the sign language movements, no one complained. The company chairman was also on hand to take part in the performance.
This reflects what our society is like at the moment, and I'm often moved to tears. I feel honored to be able to take part in the show.
Every performer has dedicated themselves wholeheartedly to participating in the musical, so I am deeply moved and grateful for their willingness to cooperate.
Though working together for the first time, everyone comes together to put on a moving show that takes their audience by storm.
Seeing the performance and also the lyrics, I felt that the lyrics were telling me something. They were telling me what to do and not to do, so I'm really touched.
We should all be filial to our parents because we won't have the opportunity to do so when they pass on.
Through promoting the concept of filial piety in the blessing ceremony, volunteers hope to inspire others to fulfill their filial duties and celebrate the festival in the right way. Also holding a blessing ceremony in their local community are Tzu Chi volunteers on the offshore island of Penghu. Though participants were mostly seniors, Tzu Chi volunteers still managed to persuade them to refrain from burning joss paper.
The planet is already sending a signal for help. It is seeking help.
After looking at a video footage of past natural disasters, residents taking part at a blessing ceremony in Penghu realized it is time to make a change.
We promoted the ideal to them before and they made a few changes, but not enough. We hope this time to have them change a bit more.
For elderly people, the concept of burning joss paper during the 7th lunar month has already taken root in their hearts. Nevertheless, Tzu Chi volunteers do not give up advocating Master Zhen Yan's philosophy.
Burning joss paper is just another way of creating air pollution, right? When we burn joss paper, there will be smoke, and it is uncomfortable when we breathe in that smoke.
If we burn joss paper when there are strong winds, it might cause a fire. Isn't that dangerous?
We don't necessarily have to burn joss paper to show respect to the gods and ghosts. We must change our perspective.
No longer thinking about the amount of joss paper to burn, instead, residents know that with sincerity, life would be just as harmonious and peaceful. In New Zealand, the members of the Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth Association from the University of Auckland visited Melford Primary School during their semester break to teach the students Chinese and sign language. The youngsters all found the classes fascinating and were really excited to learn more about etiquette.
Learning Chinese for these elementary school children is indeed new and exciting. Sittings from the University of Auckland use their holidays to teach these children the importance of etiquette through Chinese and sign language.
Okay, so pulling away is please. Pull, yep.
Seeing these lively and vivacious volunteers, the children are extremely excited to learn, and new volunteers joining for the first time found motivation through this experience.
You're greeted by smiles the moment you walk in. Their smiles are so welcoming.
When we asked questions, they were so eager to participate, which made us feel really happy.
When it came time for the volunteers to leave, the children used what they had just learned and bid farewell in sign language.
We go to the United States at the end of the show. Though the Western culture does not celebrate the 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers from the Tzu Chi Dialysis chapter invited the general public to adopt a meatless diet, while their counterparts in Detroit called on local residents to help safeguard the planet. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.